Mid-range mobile phones are becoming more and more powerful all the time. And to be honest with you, we are getting to a stage where buying a top-of-the-range phone is just as a status symbol. It's not anymore for a particular need. Because on paper at least, something like this should be able to do anything that you might require it to. You might require a mobile phone or even a gaming device to do. This is the Cubot X18 Plus. It's a 6-inch screen with an incredibly high resolution, and I'm going to test it with you guys. So to start with, I don't know if you can read all the information, but this has a 6-inch screen. It is a very high resolution. It's a 18 by 9 screen, 2160 by 1080. As far as I know, it's got a contrast of 13,200, a brightness then is rated up to 450 nits, so it should be nice and bright. Processor wise, octa-core. Is in fairness a bit of an older processor now, but one thing that Cubot is legendary for is to create a software that is very well optimized to work with their devices. So for what I've heard, even if the processor is not the newest one, it should work incredibly well with it. Opening the box, we have the phone, which is already, it looks already fantastic. It comes pre-installed with a plastic bumper case, which is already very, very nice. It's a see-through clear plastic case, very nice to have in. The phone straight away feels very good grip. The body is plastic, but in all honesty it looks alright. It's probably a bit of a fingerprint magnet. Cameras, you have a 20 megapixel camera and a 2 megapixel camera in theory for the density, the depth of field. Fingerprint reader at the back. Headphone jack, brilliant to have. Don't know if guys you can notice the color of the phone, but it looks very, very nice. It does come already with also a film cover on it as well. So yeah, so far first impression is very good. We are going to remove all the film and everything else in a second, but before we get to the phone itself, let me go through few information: compliance regulation, leaflets and everything else. We have the quick start guide, something that I never particularly use on phones, but for people that are interested is there as well. And I shall assume that, yeah, fantastic, you got the British plug in there and the cable. Okay, the cable to start with is a flat cable, which is very nice. However, the phone has a micro USB connector instead of a Type-C. Personally, I would prefer a Type-C, but it's not exactly a deal breaker. And this comes allegedly with Android 8. Yes, I don't know if you can see it even from the screen. Android 8 already pre-installed, which is incredibly good for a phone that is £170, £169.99 if I remember correctly. 4 GB of RAM, 64 of ROM, dual SIM card, or you can have a SIM card and a TF card to upgrade the storage. As you said, is already 64 GB. Weight-wise, it feels very, very good. Another thing to notice is that the battery is non-removable, but it should last forever because it's a 4000 mAh battery, so far better than most phones. Camera on the front is a 13 megapixel camera. I've been using this phone now for quite a few days, and to be honest, if I liked it before, I absolutely love it now. To start with, I'll show you the fingerprint, which in all honesty, as you can see, it works very quickly and very fast. I'll do it while it's, there you go, sideways, so you can see how quick it is. With regards to the processor, initially I was a bit skeptical about it because this uses an MT6750, which is, strictly speaking, a bit of an older processor. It's got 8 A53 cores, 4 clocked at 1.51 gigahertz and 4 clocked at 1 giga. Graphic chip is a Mali T860. I thought it was going to be potentially a bit slow. Actually, it's incredibly fast. The optimization on this, as you can see, it has been absolutely great. I know that Cubot is very good for those things. So yeah, it works brilliantly. As you can see, you got all the features then Google can provide. Because it's also Android 8.1, you also have the possibility of split screen as well. So let's say then we have Wikipedia open, we can still look at other information while that is on the pan as well. Music wise, it plays incredibly well as well. They got a very decent range. The screen is incredibly bright. I turned the brightness way down, as you can see, to be able to film it, because the screen is incredibly good and incredibly bright. So just to test the speed. Speaker wise, while we are at it, in fairness, they are not stereo. The speaker is on the top part, so if I cover, for example, the bottom one, you will see that there will not be much of a difference. But if I cover the top, there you go. So you can see that the speaker is just on this part, which is totally fine for me, because anyway, when I'm playing a game, I generally tend to grab it this way, so it leaves the speaker free. And on the conversation about games, again, incredibly surprised by the quality of it. I've installed a couple of very demanding games. One is Asphalt 8 and one is a shooting game. Where you see potentially then the CPU is slightly older is in the loading part of some of the games. So it takes maybe a bit longer than top of the range games. But if you don't mind waiting a few extra seconds, which I don't particularly do, there you go, it's open already. And graphically, they play incredibly well. Again, thanks to the GPU and thanks to the screen, is all very responsive. I'll show you very quickly on Asphalt 8. It's been set on the top, so the highest possible resolution. So this is playing on 2K and at the top resolution. So far better than even my previous phone was able to do. And my previous phone has an X20 processor, so in theory should be better than this. In practice, because of the optimization from Cubot, this actually works better. So let me show you very quickly on a gaming for Asphalt, for example. And let's now get to something else. So as you can see, I also have several apps already open, and some are very big, like Asphalt 8, but everything is working absolutely fine thanks for the 4 gig of memory. We now go to another game that is incredibly demanding from a graphic point of view, and we'll have a quick look on that as well. I've also taken quite a few pictures. And just to give you an indication, I've taken pictures with this and picture with an iPhone 5S. So again, a phone that is quite expensive and a phone that should give you a good comparison to this one. And to be honest, I'm amazed by the quality of the camera in this phone, which, let's be honest, is a budget phone anyway. So once again, everything is already loaded up. Let's get to the game, and I'll show you how it plays. And these games were not, by the way, in the memory, so it's loading everything from boot. And as you can see, everything is working incredibly well. for the quality, for the price, for the incredible screen, I definitely recommend this phone. You know, it is incredible to think that it's possible to buy a phone that is £170 and it's got all these features and for this quality. And as you can see also the screen, the viewing angle for the screen is absolutely stunning. Let me put it also in full brightness to show you how bright this goes. There you go. I mean, guys, believe me, unfortunately you cannot probably see it very well through the camera, but this is so bright. Then, you know, I would not say that it's uncomfortable. It's useful if you're in a very bright condition, if you're under the sun, but most of the time it's an overkill. And the battery as well, you know, a lot of praises for that as well, because I had this running for, you know, as I said, a few days, but from full charge to now, and we still have 61%, I disconnected about 14-15 hours ago, and I still have more than half battery. I mean, this easily lasts me a full day, and this is including playing games, going online and everything else. So even the battery, absolutely brilliant. Guys, Cubot X18 Plus, stunning phone.